because sometimes even as homeschoolers, you need a break from it all. But we still need to homeschool, and the world is mostly still on lockdown, so why not go to a place that is open and coincidentally the happiest place on earth, Walt Disney World. But before we get started, a quick note to all the runners out there. Since the last time we came, Disney installed a walkway between the Grand Floridian and the Magic Kingdom. It's great for running. You can literally run all the way from the Transportation and Ticket Center, through the Polynesian, through the Grand Floridian, all the way to Magic Kingdom, before security says no more. Because how many times in your life can you really race a monorail? I'm pretty sure I lost that race. From the Transportation and Ticket Center to Magic Kingdom and back is just over 3 miles. Okay, on to the video, homeschooling at Epcot. As a kid, I remember taking field trips to the zoo, the aquarium, and historical farming sites in eastern North Carolina. What's great about Disney World is you can do all of that in one place. On our channel, we've shown you already how we homeschool at a zoo, an aquarium, and Disney World already with our Animal Kingdom edition. Today we focus on Epcot, where even the giant ball as you enter is a homeschooling lesson.
Did you know the Epcot ball is a large geodesic sphere?
But to really kick off our homeschooling, you can't miss that classic ride, Spaceship Earth.
Where else can you learn about the Phoenicians?
Because the ride itself is a 15-minute crash course in how our civilization got started. What's more homeschooling than that? It starts off talking about the dawn of man, early civilizations, and the creation of the alphabet. Thank you, Phoenicians. And then continues on to the Roman Empire, the printing press, and modern-day technologies. That's 15 minutes of pure information that you can easily log into your homeschool history curriculum. And while 15 minutes may not seem like a long time, at the end of the ride, they have individual hands-on exhibits that deal with modern-day medicine, transportation, and energy, so you can really make it last as long as you want to. But this time they were all shut down because of the virus. But don't think for a second we go to Epcot, especially during the Flower and Garden Festival, just for the kids and homeschool. We most definitely pig out. Monorail! Now moving on to what is my favorite part of homeschooling at Epcot, the aquarium.
It's the second largest aquarium in North America.
And after you ride the Finding Nemo ride, you exit right in the middle of it. In there you'll find manatees, dolphins, sharks, and much more. The manatees are most definitely my favorite exhibit. Aw, look at them. They're so cute together. I especially like this aquarium because it's more about conservation and rehabilitation than making money. As you can see, these manatees are non-releasable. This guy was injured by a boat strike on his tail and wouldn't be able to survive out in the wild on his own. And each exhibit has tons of educational information. This one talks about the dangers of the human impact on the marine wildlife. The aquarium houses over 12,000 animals and coincidentally has the largest official hidden Mickey in all of Epcot. Did you know that one of the reasons schools of fish will swim underneath the ray is so they can draft off their current and not expend as much energy swimming? And no trip to a Disney aquarium is not complete without finding Crush from Finding Nemo. There's definitely a wide variety from big sharks to dolphins to even the smaller things living in the sea. And there are booths set up all around the aquarium where Disney cast members are super happy to discuss topics, answer questions all about marine wildlife. You could literally spend all day homeschooling in this aquarium. And of course we found Nemo. And Dory. Now it's time to get a little bit more adventurous with our homeschooling. Mission Space. Mission Space can do a great job of teaching the concept of gravity, which for kids is easy to learn about but sometimes difficult to understand, because it's not something you really feel. Mission Space can simulate the effects of increased gravitational forces. But most definitely not a ride for those with a weak stomach, and unfortunately I might be one of those people. They do offer a less intense green mission, but you don't feel the increased gravitational forces on that ride. This is the second warning that we've seen that says if you don't like spinning or the effects of increased gravity, this ride might not be for you. The good news, I guess, is the ride is so notorious for causing people to vomit, it comes with its own barf bag in front of you. Here we are now passing warning number 3.
Such
Warning number 4 now comes with an audiovisual component. Does this hallway lead to vomiting?
Orange team, more intense training.
After hearing warning number 5, I realize I will only have myself to blame if I puke my brains out at Walt Disney World. So I didn't vomit, but that ride is probably proof I couldn't have been an astronaut. Hey, there's Buzz Lightyear! Speaking of astronauts. So I assume this ride is using centripetal forces to simulate the effect of increased gravitational forces, which you can definitely feel as you're moving your arms trying to push the buttons on the console. Your arms definitely feel heavier, which is a great way for your kids to feel the sensation of increased gravity. Full disclosure, this was originally going to be a top 5 video of how to homeschool at Epcot, just like we did at Animal Kingdom. Unfortunately, due to COVID and the changes that Epcot had to make, our plans had to change a little bit. One of the things we planned on showing in the video is how we normally go around to each country and talk to the college kids from that country and learn about it in their KidCot stations. But the college program has hopefully just temporarily been suspended, and the guy managing the Norway station I'm pretty sure was from Kansas. And the French KidCot station didn't even have anybody there. They still had the KidCot cards and the occasional activities, but the experience just wasn't the same. We'll be glad when COVID is over, the college kids can come back, and the KidCot experience is back to normal. Another thing we were going to discuss is the life cycle of an oyster in the Pick-a-Pearl location in the Japan Center. This is a video of when my daughter was doing it when she was much younger. It's a fun experience and definitely worth the money. Unfortunately, again, because of COVID, they weren't doing it this year. In fact, the whole area has been closed off. And as you can see where they used to house the oysters, completely empty. One thing that hasn't changed due to COVID is their Living with the Land ride, which does a great job talking about agriculture and vertical farming. We already did an entire video where we took some of the things we learned from this ride and took them home and created our own vertical garden, so you should definitely check that video out. So that's another brief look into how we homeschool while we are on vacation. We hope you enjoyed it. Next week we'll be back to our regular science videos. Until then, have a great day, and we'll see you next week.